I got your back. Man, let me tell you.
Hi, I'm Caroline, and we're about to drop into our Apex Legends review. For this match, I'm joined by my teammate Ali, who has played this latest Battle Royale game for many hours before writing this review. However, he's too busy chasing victories to actually tell you what he thinks of Apex Legends, so I'll be voicing his thoughts instead. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell for more from PCGamesN. Right, now where are we dropping? Apex Legends is not a conventional Battle Royale. In a game of Fortnite or PUBG, there's little chance of winning a shootout against a full enemy team when all of your comrades have been knocked out of the fight. But in Apex Legends, when the odds are against you, you can use a variety of special abilities to get back on the right foot. Abilities such as creating a trans-dimensional rift to flank your overwhelming opponents and simply kill them from behind, while they stand and shoot at the location you were stood just moments before. Apex Legends' arrival is like nothing we've ever seen. Announced and released on the same day, it has, out of nowhere, single-handedly elevated a genre that many thought had been entirely saturated. But perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised by that. It is built by the team behind Titanfall 2, one of the most respected first-person shooters of the past decade after all. Apex Legends adopts the same concept that uncountable other titles have tried to cash in on over the past 2 years. Players drop onto an island and battle to become the last one standing. But developer Respawn has made a few changes to the traditionally accepted formula. The game caters to 60 players rather than 100 and limits gameplay to 3-person squads. Its overnight success comes down to the fact Respawn hasn't taken an idea and added a gimmick to it, but instead applied its own expertise to the genre's shortcomings. The most obvious change comes via the decision to borrow from hero shooters. Other battle royales rely on cosmetic changes to differentiate one character from another, but Apex Legends asks you to choose from a roster of personalities at the beginning of every match. Crucially, none of them have a major advantage over one another in terms of speed or resilience, but each has passive, tactical, and ultimate abilities which inform their wider role in a battle. Lifeline's tactical ability supports her position as a healer, calling in a drone to automatically restore health to nearby allies.
Drone if you need.
Gibraltar is a tank, with his passive calling up a shield that activates whenever he aims down sights. While Pathfinder is exactly what he says on the tin, with an entire kit built around expediting his journey around the map. This setup is Apex Legends' biggest deviation from the norm, but it's a beautiful fit for the genre. The characters work alongside each other flawlessly. While you can select a trio with a particular strategy in mind, the level playing field means there's no sense you'll be putting your team at a disadvantage if you choose to play as the character that resonates most with your personality. The roster feeds into Apex Legends' punchy gameplay and effortless movement to make for what is by far the most engrossing combat any Battle Royale has to offer. In the electrifying battles, you can never truly feel safe. An opening advantage can quickly be undone by an enemy ability, such as Lifeline's drone or a well-placed smoke grenade from Bangalore. A tactical retreat can be followed up by an aggressive Pathfinder, while Race into the Void Rift and Bloodhound's tracking abilities turn even the most secure hiding spots into death traps. Even killing an enemy doesn't guarantee safety, as a respawn system allows players to be brought back to life even if they're finished off during a battle. Surviving players must collect a killed teammate's banner from their corpses and take it to a respawn beacon. Resurrected players get to dive back into battle, very much alive, but without their loot. None of these ideas are new to PC gaming as a whole, but in the context of the already stagnant Battle Royale, they are genre-changing. Acting as a backdrop to all of this are the guns themselves, which ooze as much personality as the characters who wield them. From the irritating stings of the Mozambique shotgun to the deadly spin-up of a maxed-out Devotion LMG. And then there's Apex Legends' best-in-class movement. Everything in the game feels as though it's done at a sprint, never really letting you slacken the pace. After you pick yourself up from your superhero landing, you set off running, scrambling over walls or up the sides of buildings, skidding down slopes and flinging yourself from the ziplines that crisscross the map. The King's Canyon map is a joy to traverse. Positioning and repositioning is simple, thanks to the sheer number of movement tools you have at your disposal, meaning that the wall of the zone doesn't feel like a potential punishment, but a tool to facilitate the high-stakes battle of the final circles. Those stakes are helped along by the characters themselves, who are keen to let you know when you run the risk of being caught out. In-game voice lines are so prolific that each character has dialogue relating to your every move, meaning you can spend time looking out for enemies rather than keeping one eye on your HUD. That shift of focus from the map serves to almost entirely remove the sense of a mid-game, an affliction affecting the entire genre as the action dips between a chaotic early scramble and a cramped late game. Characters are far more than weaponized sat-navs. Everything from your next destination to evidence of enemy activity can be noted thanks to the game's much-lauded ping system, and then brought to life in dialogue. It's an incredibly detailed system, matching the fast-paced and strategic complexity of the combat. In Fortnite and PUBG, if you can't or won't use a microphone, all you can do is stay close to your team and potentially suggest a new location. In Apex Legends, you can actively guide a team to victory without uttering a single word. Irritatingly, that sense of accessibility isn't always matched across the rest of the game, and while a tutorial is a much-needed addition to a genre that has previously relied far too heavily on its conceptual simplicity, there are still some complexities that could have been more effectively ironed out, particularly when it comes to inventory management. There's a lot to get to grips with. Healing items that don't feel very self-explanatory, a pretty stingily sized backpack, sniper rifles that use light ammo, and a pistol that's somehow a shotgun. It doesn't take too long to familiarize yourself with the UI, but it was a blight on my early hours with the game. Nevertheless, Apex Legends is a marvel, taking a genre that seemed like it could go no further and changing the game literally overnight. It's the first battle royale since PUBG that feels like it's been born out of a desire rather than necessity. Not just a desperate attempt to stay relevant, but a choice to try and genuinely improve upon a global sensation. It's a wonderfully polished, characterful offering that marks the end of the beginning of the Battle Royale. And that's our Apex Legends review. Don't forget to check out Ali's written version over at PCGamesN.com, where there's also plenty of guides to help you score victory over enemy trios. Also, while you're here, perhaps you could be so kind as to like and subscribe to the channel for videos like this. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.
You are the Apex Champions.